Canada's inflation rate rose to 8.1% in June compared with a year ago, its largest yearly change since January of 1983. The inflation rate in May was 7.7%. Statistics Canada says price acceleration in June was largely the result of soaring gas prices, which are 50% higher than a year ago. The June rate is consistent with what economists predicted. Last week, the Bank of Canada hiked its key interest rate by a full point to 2.5% in a bid to reduce inflation.
All right, so let's talk more about what this means to you and, of course, to the everyday items that we are buying and consuming. Sylvain Charlebois, professor and director of the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University, frequent contributor here to CP24 Breakfast. You also co-host the Food Professor podcast, which is definitely worth a listen. Sylvain, thanks for joining us again this morning. I read your latest report here. The good news, I think, for people watching this morning is you say there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Can you explain?
I believe so. As an economist, you always try to look for shifts in the data, and that's what we got yesterday from Statistics Canada. Back in April and May, the inflation rate was at 9.7%. Now it's down to 9.4% when it comes to food, although in Ontario it's still at 10%, so it's still high. In fact, everything east of Manitoba, it's over 10%. So you can still see that inflation or food inflation is a problem. But the pace is slowing down, so things are calming down at the grocery store. So, and I think people will start seeing more promotions, more loss leading here and there.
Yeah, and Sylvain, also in the study, it points to some interesting statistics about dollar stores and discount food stores really getting people to shop there more. They can really save about 25 to 40%. And this is something to consider because, you know, grocery stores, traditional ones like Loblaws, are looking at this and saying, hey, people can get alternatives elsewhere.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I know some people don't like to go to discount grocery stores, but if you want to dodge that food inflation bullet, you may want to think again. You can save anywhere between 30 to 50%, depending of the week, when buying the exact same products. So you may want to reconsider the address where you go and buy most of your food for at least for a while.
Yeah, I was in one of them the other day, and I really could not believe the difference. The one area that I found quite stunning, though, was the fact that milk, Sylvain, regardless of where you shop, it's pretty much the same price. That seems locked in. What's the story there?
Well, it's regulated. It's regulated at farm gate, so it's standardized across the country. So dairy prices are predictable. In fact, if there's one section that worries me right now, it is dairy, because we're about to be hit by another increase in September when kids go back to school. So it's going to be a 2.5% increase for farmers. But that means for us, you and I, it means maybe 7-8% for yogurt, cheese, ice cream. I mean, we're not going to be screaming for ice cream. We're going to be screaming at ice cream in the fall.
Dig deeper for it. Yeah.
We'll be crying into our pints of ice cream as we eat it, and not just over a breakup or something like that, over the cost of how much it is. So we talked about milk, and let's turn to, you know, the situation in Ukraine and how that's affecting the cost of oil, sunflower oil, things like that. Is that still up there, or is that stabilizing as well?
It's stabilizing. So if you look at commodity prices since April, prices have actually dropped. So if you're a processor out there, it's going to cost you less to get all the ingredients you need to produce the food we all buy every single day at the grocery store. So like, things are calming down. The Ukrainian effect is baked into the supply chain now. So we are expecting a calmer Q3 and Q4 as we end 2020. So we're expecting to land at around 7% by year's end, which is exactly what we said in December.
All right, thank you so much for joining us once again. Of course, the food professor, Sylvain Charlebois, joining us here on CP24 for breakfast. A little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. That's the headline I'm going to take from that. So thanks for the conversation.
Exactly.
Yet again, appreciate this.
Thank you.